Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another Vlogmas video. Today we are going to be chatting about something that I think is actually super important. We're going to be talking about my tips and advice for simplifying Christmas and the holidays and keeping them a little more meaningful and just keeping your sanity. I feel like there are so many things at this time of year that are pulling us in all these different directions. And so what I wanted to share with you guys today is over the years, I have really worked hard to kind of center back Christmas for our family around what it should be about, at least for us, because I just think there's so much noise this time of year. It is such a and I think we're all guilty of it, myself included. It's just such a consumer-driven time of year where we're thinking a lot about buying things and gifts and giving gifts and receiving gifts and all of that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, there's ways to keep that in check. There are plenty of organizations who rely on the generosity of people during this time of year to keep going. So I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm just saying there's just a lot. There's a lot when you bring in like family dynamics and things like that. Some people don't have great relationships with family, so the holidays can be a little stressful for them. So just want to share some tips if you're looking to slow down, simplify, cut through the noise. If you feel like Christmas for you has become something that you stress about rather than look forward to, that's just what I want to share with you guys today. A few years ago, I had what I called my Hobby Lobby breakdown, and I actually wrote about it in my book in detail about my Hobby Lobby breakdown. Like I had a moment. It's a whole thing. But moving on from that, these are just different ways that I have tried to sort of recenter Christmas in our household, and I wanted to share them with you guys today. My number one tip is to actually do less. Say yes to less, cut back, do less. You think that by taking your kids to all of these different things and going to breakfast with Santa and going to see the Christmas lights here and there and going to this holiday party and that holiday party, that it's going to put you more in the Christmas spirit and you're going to enjoy the holidays more. But it's actually the exact opposite. Adding all of those things onto your plate is just another, to be frank, outfit you have to pick out, appetizer you have to cook to bring to a party, kid you have to listen to complain because their expectations weren't met. And let's just be honest, like that's just the nature of children. God love them, but that's just the nature of children. You know what I'm saying. If you are a mom, you know that no matter how hard you try, there's always going to be a kid that just doesn't appreciate it, doesn't recognize it. That doesn't happen until you're older. You know you did the same thing. But my point is, the Christmas spirit is not found in doing more Christmassy things. One of my favorite things to do is to tell all the kids to go put on their pajamas, grab a blanket, and let's sit down and just watch a Christmas movie together. That might seem simple, but that is one of the things that gives me like the most happy, joyful, Christmassy time feels, is to just be snuggled up with my kids with some hot chocolate. We got little hot chocolate pods for our K-Cup. Perfect. Some peppermint whipped cream on top, and just sit down and enjoy a movie together as a family. It's one of our favorite things to do, but we have to be very intentional about it. And yeah, that's like one of the things that just really helps me to like slow down. It's something I love to do with our kids. Another great idea is to get off of social media for the entire day, the entire weekend, whatever you can do. Again, I know this is different for everybody. For some of us, social media is part of our job, so it's hard to leave it for long periods of time. If you can give yourself just like a full day off of social media where it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, it doesn't matter what gift guides anybody's sharing or holiday makeup looks, and I say this as someone who shares and does these things, but like it's okay to cut that out. If you just need to quiet the noise, it's okay to cut that out. Especially like take a whole day off and just the world will continue, believe it or not. It's shocking to us, I think, sometimes to realize that the world carries on, even if we're not present on Facebook today, sharing whatever political thought of the day we have. The world still goes round. So definitely do that for yourself, for your peace of mind, for your sanity, especially if you're going to do something really fun with your kids that day, or with your spouse or significant other. Just take off of social media the whole day. I always say to my friends, some of the very best memories and things I have, there is no photographic evidence of anywhere. When we go on our girls' trip, our mom's trip, we do things like that, we almost never take pictures. It's just up here, and those are like my favorite memories. Nobody else knows that they happened. They didn't happen on social media or Instagram stories. They just happened in my real life. and those are very special things for me. Another one of my very favorite things to do to slow down and savor the season is to tell my kids family stories. So last year I took a writing class, and in that writing class, it was actually for like how to write your memoir. I was the youngest person in that class by like 50 years because everybody else was there. Okay, maybe not 50, maybe like 30. Everybody else was there writing their family stories because generations past, people used to sit down, and you probably have memories of your grandma, your grandpa, your great grandma telling you family stories. And we don't really do that anymore. Like, I find I have to be very intentional about that, of like, let me tell you the story that I know about grandma, the story that I know about your aunt or your uncle or whatever. I have to be really intentional about it, and I think we're losing that generationally. Like, it's just not something people used to sit down after dinner with a cup of coffee and a cigarette or whatever and talk and tell family stories, and I just don't feel like we do that. Now we have these devices and things, so we're often just getting on our phones. You know, we're just not conversing in the same ways that we used to. So I think that is one of the downfalls of, you know, social media and phones and electronics and all that kind of newfangled technology, is that we're losing a lot of that kind of conversation that happens, and especially generation to generation. So some of my very favorite memories are being with family and having my grandma tell me stories about my dad when he was little, or my other grandma tell me stories about my mom when she was little. So I want to do that with my kids, and especially talk about Christmases past, like during the holidays, talking about Christmases past and different things that we've done and ways that we've celebrated, or other family, or just, you know, random family stories. I definitely could see why like that class was filled with people who were trying to get it into a book form, knowing that generation to generation it might not exist anymore if they didn't get it into a book form. So that's a whole nother thing. But telling family stories, I think, can be really, really meaningful for kids. Now, one of my other favorite things, my husband cannot stand this like saying that I have. I didn't make it up, someone else did. But the saying goes, done is better than perfect. If you are a perfectionist, that is very hard for you to hear. It is very hard for my husband to hear, but it's something that we have to repeat over and over and over again when it comes to work things or whatever. It's just like, done is better than perfect. And I think that mentality really carries over into the holidays very, very well. Getting your tree up and getting it decorated, done is better than perfect. Letting your kids help so that the tree just gets done and they enjoy it, whether it looks perfect or not, done is better than perfect. Christmas cookies, wrapping gifts, like all these things that we do at Christmas time, just like done is better than perfect. Bottom line, I feel like you can carry that across pretty much everything when it comes to the holidays and things that you're doing. Just get it done and don't let it stress you. The perfection of it stress you to the point that you're not even enjoying these things anymore, because what's the point? If you're not enjoying it, what's the point? What is Christmas about for you if you're not enjoying it? Okay, I've got two more. The next one is to do things with your kids instead of giving them things. Hear me out on this. I know I talked about not having to do all the things, and you shouldn't. But we are big believers in like giving our kids experiences over giving them items. We talk a lot about that when it comes to birthdays. Not every year and every kid, because we have 7 kids. But we try to encourage our kids to pick like someplace they want to go, if they want to go camping, or go to the Whitewater Center, or go hiking, rather than buying a bunch of gifts. Kids just don't remember toys. It's not, especially this day and age, they're just not meaningful. And for us, we try to keep the volume of toys really, really small. So we just don't want to keep a lot of toys and kind of toy crap everywhere, basically. So our intent is to have our kids do things that like will be memorable for them, rather than just like a plastic toy that they're going to forget about. And I think it's the same thing at the holidays, keeping the gift giving process very simple. I would definitely encourage you to do that. That has revolutionized the holidays for us. It is no longer about creating a giant sea of gifts under the tree, but just a few simple gifts that are meaningful to each of our kids. And then again, just focusing more on experiences, whether that's going to a cabin at Christmas time for a little getaway, or going snow tubing, or like I said, just going for a hike together. There are lots of inexpensive / free things that you can do. We love to go look at Christmas lights, just drive around the neighborhoods. We'll go to Starbucks and let all the kids get a kid's hot chocolate, And then just because that's like a special little experience, you can just make hot chocolate at home and bring it. That's fine too. But we'll go and let them get a little hot chocolate, and then we'll drive around and look at the neighborhoods that have decorated. So it's totally free. I think just trying to really refocus to experiences over things and items and all of that. Again, all of it is to bring you more peace over the holidays. And then lastly, which I personally feel is probably the most important, along with our kids' list of things that they want for Christmas that we choose from for their few gifts, we also ask them to turn into us a list of things they would like to do for other people during this season. So over the years, we've done kindness calendars and things like that where it's like do something every day. We've done lots of different things in this way. We've delivered meals. We've volunteered at different places. So we usually do something different every year, but we try really hard to make sure that a major focus of our holiday is on giving, whether it be of our time, of our money, but just of giving. And we ask our kids to do the same thing. So like I said, they turn in with their Christmas list of things they want for themselves, a list of things they would like to do for others. That can be things like making cookies and delivering them for our neighbors, or going and grabbing coffee and donuts for the bell ringers that are outside of Hobby Lobby and Walmart for the Salvation Army this time of year. There's lots of different, we have a few different organizations here where we can drop off food and gifts, coats, just all kinds. I mean, there's so many places that are in need, and especially in the winter time, when it gets cold and people need heat in their house. They need to be able to pay their heating bill. They need to be able to get coats. They need all of that kind of stuff. I always want my kids to be compassionate and thinking about others and understanding that it's okay to enjoy the gifts and the things that you've been given, the blessings, the things. It's okay to enjoy those things. I think we're meant to. I believe we're meant to find joy and appreciate those things, but also to always be thinking of others and how we can serve others, and how as we're sort of moving through life, and that we can always be sort of reaching back and grabbing the hand of someone in need and bringing them up with us and bringing them along with us. So I just always want my kids to bring their focus back there all year round, but obviously the holidays is a really, really easy time to bring it to forefront, because advertising and consumerism is so high at the holidays that I just want my kids to like refocus and make sure that they are doing that they are putting others above themselves, and that they are always thinking about other people at this time of year, especially just because it is just so consumer driven. So I hope that maybe you found one or two of those tips helpful. Like I said, I'm not trying to be preachy or tell you what to do. I'm just sharing with you some of the ways that we have simplified things to keep our holidays very meaningful and intentional for us, because it is a time of year that I struggle with a lot. The disparity between people all over the world, for me, becomes increasingly apparent at the holidays, when some kids behave well and Santa brings them gifts, and other kids behave well but Santa doesn't bring them any gifts. Like, my brain has and my heart has a really hard time grappling with all of that this time of year. So these are just some of the ways that I kind of calm my spirit and calm the anxiety a little bit, and try to just keep the focus on simple, meaningful things. Let me know if you guys want to see. I will share with you more of like the religious side of things, the faith side of things, what we do for Advent, and how we keep Jesus as the focus of our Christmas instead of Santa Claus and presents and all that stuff. I'm happy to talk about that if you guys are interested in that. But I just wanted to make this that was a little more appealing across the board, useful tips for everyone, whether you share the same faith as me or not. I just wanted to share some tips that I think would be helpful for everyone. So if you'd like to see more of a faith-centered video, let me know and I will get to that, because we have some really awesome things that we use every year that I really enjoy to keep our kids focus on Jesus and Jesus's birth. Anyways, so that's it for today's video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, any video requests for Vlogmas down below in the comments. And I will see you guys again tomorrow in another Vlogmas video. Bye guys.